So guys, it is time to start camo wrapping my BMW. It's just behind me over there. It's very bright over there so you can't quite see it. For the first bit I'm going to be bringing the car up to the top of the drive here just so I can do some on the bonnet, on the wing and also the driver's door as well, because it is still a little bit windy and I don't want to be going around with all of these wrap pieces and flying all over the place or anything like that. But stay tuned, let's see how we get on with it and I'll catch you guys soon. Hey up everybody and welcome back to the channel. So as you've just heard from that little bit of an intro there, this video is the video where we're actually going to be wrapping the BMW. So this video is the third video in a bit of a lockdown project series that I've been doing. So the first video was wrapping some interior panels, the second one was preparing, cutting and speaking to you guys about what I'm doing today, and the third one, that being this video, is actually going to be installing this wrap. First of all, before I actually get the car up here, I'm going to have a coffee. I've been at this for the last 2 days, so I'm going to have a quick 10-15 minute break. If you do like this sort of stuff, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, but let's get in to wrapping the car. So a little bit of time has passed since I said I was going to go make a coffee and have a break. What I really wanted to do is to make a start on the bonnet. I've never wrapped a car before, barring interior pieces, wing mirrors, that sort of thing. And I know it's a completely different beast when you look at it that way. So I'm just going to take the camera off of the tripod. I'll show you what we've done so far, a bit of a sneak peek of sorts. You have to let me know what your comments are down below. It's not perfect by any means. I'm not a professional rapper, I'm not a professional cutter or anything like that. But I think it looks actually alright. It looks a little bit different, which is what I wanted to do, so I'm happy with that side. But let me just grab the camera. So we've got the camera, let's walk past all the wrapping bits without hitting my head. And then here we go. So I've put quite a bit of black things on the bonnet in terms of shapes. I've got a few more white ones to go before the bonnet is done. I've also done a little bit down the side here just to see what that was like in terms of getting in the gap. But I've done a little bit here in the gap. I've done a little bit down this side as well, just there. But as I say, we haven't actually properly finished these parts yet, so to finish them I'll put some heat on them. Any bubbles that are there will come up, then we squeegee them out, clean them all up, and that bit's done. So there we are, that's what we've done over the last hour or so. We've made a start on the bonnet. I'd ideally like today to get the bonnet, front wings and maybe a bit of the driver's door done. The reason why I brought the car up here as opposed to down back out the outside over there is because it was a little bit windy earlier on. It's not so windy now, so tomorrow I'm going to get out nice and early, go out to the front of the car and hopefully do the driver's side within the morning, move on to the passenger's side, because the sides are the easiest parts. What I'm really dreading is the bumpers. So just want to take a couple of minutes just to tell you guys about what you need to be able to do something like this. There'll be a list somewhere on the screen. I'll also put it down in the description as well, but just in terms of what you actually need to buy. So first and foremost, you need the vinyl. Now stick with a good supplier like MDP Supplies. Anyone that supplies car wrappers is obviously a good place to go. You've got 1,000,001 different types of brands. This is KPMF air release, so essentially it's got air channels in there, so if there is any bubbles it's really easy to get them out. But of course you've got Oracle, Vivid, 3M, Hexis, all that sort of stuff, but you need to make sure you get enough. So I've got 10 meters of vinyl here. I've got 2 meters sat in the house which I haven't cut. I've got a spare half a meter there just in case I do need anything else. But I've gone sort of over and above. As I mentioned, this cost me £125 for everything including all of the supplies, so that is on the cheaper end of the scale. If you're looking at 3M, Hexis, Oracle, them sort of brands, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, probably 250, 300, something around that, just for the wrap itself. In terms of materials then, you're going to need a squeegee or two. I got a pack of 2 from Amazon last week. You're going to need some isopropyl alcohol. Most of the wrap suppliers will also have this. If not, you can get it from any hardware store, you can get it from a car detailing place, just something that's a degreaser and that removes everything off of the paintwork. You're going to need a craft knife of some sort. Now I didn't get the knife that I ideally wanted. Hexis do a swivel knife, so essentially as you're going like that it's quite quite literally like drawing. It is possible with the knife that I've got, but be prepared to do some finishing on the pieces. The pieces that I've cut here, I'm taking them over to the table, giving them a good looking over. If there's any straight areas or sort of miscuts or anything like that, you can quite easily cut around them, and that's the beauty of doing something like this. You can sort of tactically wing it in a sense. So when it comes to actually applying the vinyl, I've got all of my vinyl in a pile just over there. I've got all the whites, I've got all the blacks, and on the white side I've got all the small pieces and the big pieces, same with the black side. And essentially the reason why I've done that is, and you'll know once you do it, you put a piece on and you sort of have to stand back and look and go, that needs to go there, I'm going to put a bit of this here, a bit of that there, and it just in terms of organisation, it's just easy to come over into the garage or wherever you're doing it, pick a piece up, line it up, make sure it's alright, and then crack on with it, as opposed to digging through a load of piles as I was earlier on. So once you've got your piece, take it over to the car, take the backing film off, but before you actually lay it down, I have a microfiber that I just spray a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on, give it a quick wipe just to make sure nothing's on the surface. Once you've wiped it, turn that microfiber over onto the dry side, wipe it all down just so it's dry, and then go ahead with applying it. Once the vinyl is actually on the paintwork, get your squeegee out. The reason why I've got this hoodie on today is because I've got a middle pocket, so I can keep the knife and also the squeegee in there as well. Just go over it, make sure there's no air bubbles or anything like that, and Bob's your uncle. So I'm just going to get back to finishing off the bonnet over here. I will give you guys a bit of an update once I've done that. I'm going to find somewhere to put my camera just so you can see, but there's quite a lot of reflections because I'm in between the houses, so the light that's coming down is just bouncing straight back up. So even when I'm taking a photo on my phone, it's quite difficult to see everything, but we'll sort something out. I'll get it all sorted and I'll come back to you guys soon. I actually think one of the hardest bits of doing this is getting the backing paper off of the vinyl. I spend half of my time making sure that everything's right with the vinyl itself. I spend half my time doing this and getting absolutely nowhere. Alright guys, so just wanted to give you a quick update before I go and have something to eat. I am absolutely Hank Marvin. I've been at it since around 2 o'clock or something like that. I'm not even sure what time it is now. I think it's nearly 6. The bonnet's done, a bit of the bumper's done. The bumper is proving quite difficult, so I'm just going to come back to it at a different time. The wing's done and the driver's door done, and now I'm just sort of going on to the back panel. It's looking alright. I was just saying to a couple of friends of mine that I think because I'm doing it piece by piece and I'm obviously seeing it as it comes together, I'm sort of thinking, does it look good, does it look good? But each time I finish a piece, it looks alright. When I actually take a photo of it to show somebody, it looks good. So I'm quite happy with that. But anyway, I'll get the camera off the tripod, we'll have a look around it. I'm going to keep on cracking on until as late as I can. I don't know whether any of the lights out here will work quite well, or if I've got a light that I can use, but it may mean that I can get the bonnet, the front and one side of the car done today, which I'll be quite impressed with, and then tomorrow it's just the other side of the car, the back, and then sort of giving it a quick once over just to make sure everything's alright, going over it with some heat to make sure everything's stuck, and then we're ready to go. We have got a couple of other things which I'm hoping to get done tomorrow afternoon at this rate, just to sort of finish the look off, so to speak. I've got some of them black grills which need to go in, and I've also got some M Sport mirror caps which don't cry about. I don't think it's an M car. I don't want it to be an M car. Well, I do, but you know, it wouldn't be here. I'm not trying to imitate an M car. I just like the look of the mirrors and the look carbon fibre, so it's all good. Just before we take a look at the car, look at the absolute destruction of the garage. We've got white wrap there, black wrap here, some smaller ones over on the left-hand side. I am slowly running out of smaller ones, so I'm quite glad that I've kept half a white one there, a full white one and a black one in the house. But we'll just take a look at the car now. Of course, this is the bonnet. I've done a couple of bits on the front bumper as well, and I'm just going to squeeze past here if I can. Whoop. There we are. So we've got the front wing done, the driver's door done. I'll tell you what, you know, that is just an absolute masterpiece all the way around. I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, I think it looks alright for now. I'm just going to crack on after we've had something to eat, and I'll catch up with you guys once we're going on this part. Okay, so we're back. It's currently 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I had to wrap up fairly quickly last night because I was fighting daylight. I do have a light just over there, but it kept going on and off because it's activated by movement. After I finished what I was doing yesterday, I was knackered, I was aching, which is really surprised because, as you can see, I'm in sort of peak physical fitness at the moment. But today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be spinning the car around. We're going to be reversing it back down the drive so I can do the other side. I'm wearing shorts, it's nice and fresh, it's a sunny day, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. I'm going to set the camera up somewhere so you can see, because essentially we're starting from a fresh side, from the wing, the passenger door, and on the passenger rear side as well. I'm wanting to get the front and rear bumpers done. I did a little bit on the front bumpers yesterday, but it's proving quite difficult, so I wanted to do it once I'd had a bit more experience of actually putting the wrap on. And then what we're going to do once we've finished, we're going to sort of look at what wrap we've got left, and we may do the roof. Of course, we've got a couple of other things to install today, them being the grills, the mirror caps, the M style ones, and also some black and white BMW badges, which I'll get to a bit later on today. But let's start cracking on. Before we do, I need a coffee, so I'm going to go make one, and I'm going to set the camera up for you guys to watch. So just a very quick update from me. The back of the car is done, as you can see there. I'll turn the camera around and we can have a look at it in further detail in a second. I've just started on the passenger side door, or the rear of the doors. There's not that much to go now. It's actually gone alright. There are a couple of tricky parts on the bumper here, but that's to be expected because it's a little more intricate of a design. I've still yet to go around the front bumper and just finish that off, but that will be done. The reason why I haven't done the roof as of yet is because I wanted to make sure I had enough vinyl to do it. At the moment I've just been cutting it off at the sort of roof rail lines, but it's looking like we should have enough, so I'll do that right at the very end. It's actually quite difficult to sort of set the camera up, do a time lapse and wrap, because I'm constantly back and forward getting the knife, getting the squeegee, getting the alcohol rub and stuff like that. So I'm going to see if I can set it up just around the corner there, just cut bits out so you can see me actually applying the vinyl. Of course we'll have a full walk around of the car. Once it's been done, I'll take it out of the drive and you can have a look around it. But we're on the last stretch now. Okay, so we have finally finished. It's just about 5 o'clock at the moment. I finished it probably half an hour, 45 minutes ago, but I've been putting the grills in. I've put the M Sport mirror caps on, or the M-like mirror caps, and I've also put some carbon overlays on the badges, just to darken the car up a little bit. As you can see behind me just over here, there's an absolute ton of rubbish to work through, but I'm going to head outside. We're going to take a quick look around the car. It's going to polarize opinions pretty much right down the middle. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it, but it's kept me busy for 4 days. I know you guys want to see it, so I'm going to head outside and take a look at the car. So there you have it, there's the Urban Camo Wrapped M140i that I've been working on for the past 4 days. Blood, definitely. Sweat, definitely. Not so many tears. I probably would have cried if it didn't go right, because I've put so much time into it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll keep up to date with what I'm doing. But until next time, I'll see you then.